بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. أيها الإخوة والأخوات، أهلا بكم في الحلقة رقم 20 من حلقات مادة اللغة الإنجليزية لطلاب قسم الاقتصاد وقسم إدارة الأعمال. And this is session number 20, the 20th session, الحلقة رقم 20. في نهاية الحلقة السابقة طبعا انتهينا بكيفية نطق الفعل لما يكون البروناون he, she or it. طبعا الحديث كان عن استخدام the simple present tense. فأحيانا الفعل ينطق والS, the final S in the verb when the pronoun is when the subject is the pronoun he, she or it. يعني أحيانا ينطق س رغم أنه يكتب S، وأحيانا ينطق ز رغم أنه أيضا يكتب S. So we want to know what's going on. Well, بالنسبة يعني I'm going to speak in Arabic this time because it's kind of an important point. نلاحظ أن الفعل get مثلا والفعل start and الفعل eat تنتهي بالحرف ت. Okay. طبعا بالنطق نقول الصوت ت. Okay. Well, the t is voiceless. What we mean by that, of course, is that the vocal cords, okay, اللي هي الحبال الصوتية هنا. الحبال الصوتية مرتخية، فلذلك الصوت يخرج بدون أي اهتزاز في الحبال الصوتية. فلذا الصوت الذي يأتي بعده، okay, يجب أن يكون أو يحمل نفس الصفات. فنقول gets. And if you say, for example, just to demonstrate يعني تبين إيش اللي قاعد يصير، لو قلت مثلا ثم انتقلت إلى وضعت إيدك هنا، لاحظ مثلا تقول تلاحظ لما تنتقل من الس إلى الز إنه فيه اهتزاز في الحبال الصوتية. ففي الحالة هذه إذن لو ت is the last sound. ت هو آخر صوت في كلمة get. طيب احنا نقول gets. He gets up. gets not gets. حتى لو حاولت تنطقها ز بيكون من الصعب. فنقول ننطقها gets وليس gets. ما نستطيع طبعا. المثال الآخر اللي هو الvoiced، الأفعال الأخرى اللي هم بعض الأصوات أو بعض الكلمات أو بعض الأفعال تنتهي ب voiced sounds. final sound is voiced، بمعنى إنه في الحبال الصوتية فيه اهتزاز، مثل كلمة مثلا live. Okay, the verb live, right? When you say he lives, not he lives. No, it's he lives in Riyadh, and he leaves work at 3 o'clock. So the sound is voiced. والصوت الذي يأتي بعده لازم أن يكون أيضا voiced. فكلاهما لابد أن يحمل الصفات الصوتية، نفس الصفات الصوتية. فلذلك نقول lives تكتب S طبعا ولكنها تنطق Z. نعم. هذه بس نقطة أردت أن أنبه عليها. يعني طبعا احنا راح ناخذ exercise على النقطة هذه من خلال سماعكم لكلمات تنطق وأنت تميز هل كان الصوت الأخير س or Z. Okay. All right. So let's go to the slides then and start with the first one here. This is the slide that we have finished with. All right. Last time I noticed the S here at the end of the verb. So this is to, get, eat, start. Okay, so we say gets, eats, and starts. Whereas here, بينما هنا نقول live, lives. لاحظ كيف أنطقها هنا lives with z and runs. طبعا هنا مثالين gets, okay, and lives. طبعا هنا الكلمة تكتب هكذا في القاموس، لأنه بالقاموس عندما تبحث عن معنى كلمة get مثلا، أنت في البداية راح تجد أنه مثلا بيعطيك مثلا هل الكلمة فعل أو اسم أو صفة، ثم يبين لك كيف تنطق. وهنا طبعا كيف تنطق هنا gets, alright, and lives. All right. These are symbols by the way. هذه طبعا رموز تستخدم كيف للدلالة على كيف الصوت ينطق. هي phonetic symbols. And that's called phonetic transcription. All right. So there you go. And with, of course, it takes the verb run here. And some of these, of course, can go with that, although, as we discussed in the previous session. All right. Next slide here, pronunciation. So we have voiced sounds and voiceless sounds. يعني الآن أنا شرحت يعني أو تكلمت عنها قبل قليل شوي، لكن الآن طبعا هنا من خلال الشريحة هذه. All right. نتحدث عنها بشكل سريع. He gets up at 5 o'clock. لاحظ هنا he gets، فأنا قلت gets، لذلك هو تكتب س. اوكي، تنطق س، وهنا الرمز اوكي لها. She has 2 books أيضا. 2 books أيضا من ناحية الجمع كذلك. يعني لاحظ هنا نقول she has 2 books. راح نتكلم عن هذا لما نتحدث عن الأسماء أيضا. And he lives in Riyadh. Okay, he lives in Riyadh. لاحظ تكتب S ولكن تنطق Z. He has or she has 2 bags. Okay, 2 bags. Right. تكتب S وتنطق Z. فيعني let's just يجب أن نلاحظ النقطة هذه. Okay. Now, complete the sentences. Tell us about yourself. All right. All right, this, you can look at it here, and you can, of course, have a piece of paper, write down the questions, and then complete them. What I want you to do is to tell me about yourself, your name here, the country that you come from. Say, I'm from, the place, where you live, where do you live, and the organization that you work for. I work for example, Riyadh Bank or Imam University. Okay. I am an accountant, for example, or a teacher. So you need to tell us. And also here in the last question, you tell us whether you are single or married. And the reason we want that is just to, of course, use the information later on when we talk about when you talk about yourself. All right. Now listen to me and complete the questions. Okay, I want you to complete the questions right now. You just listen to me. Okay. All right, the first question is, where are you from? Where are you from? 2. Where do you live? Where do you live? Where do you live? 3. What's your job? What's your job? Okay, number 4. Which company do you work for? Which company do you work for? Number 5. Are you single? Are you single? Now notice something here. Okay, you see the arrows here indicate some kind of, here in this one, the first 4 questions, it's falling intonation. With WH, of course, questions, we say, for example, here, and I already said that, but let me say it again very quickly. Where are you from? Okay. Where do you live? What's your job? Which company do you work for? In yes/no questions, okay, the intonation is rising and the arrow here is going up. So we say, are you single? Are you single? All right. Now read about Ahmed Hassan's typical day. By a typical day, we mean, of course, it's just like a regular day. I mean, the activities, everything that he does is just the same. It's just typical from the first time he gets up until he goes to sleep, especially on weekdays. All right, Ahmed Hassan. Let's read about him. Hi. My name's Ahmed Hassan. I'm Egyptian and I live in Riyadh. I live with my wife, Sumaya. She's a doctor at a hospital. We have a son, Mustafa. He's 4. I work for Riyadh High School. I get up at 6 o'clock and I leave home at 6:30. I go to work by car. It takes 30 minutes to get to work. The normal time to start work at my school is 8 o'clock. I get to school at 7:30 because I have to be in class on time. I finish work at 3 o'clock every day. I get home an hour later. It's a long day, but I don't work on weekends. Again, my name's Ahmed Hassan. I am Egyptian and I live in Riyadh. I live with my wife Sumaya. She is a doctor at a hospital. We have a son, Mustafa. He is 4, or we can say he's 4. I work for Riyadh High School. I get up at 6 o'clock and I leave home at 6:30. I go to work by car. It takes 30 minutes to get to work. The normal time to start work at my school is 8 o'clock. I get to school at 7:30 because I have to be in class on time. I finish work at 3 o'clock every day. I get home an hour later. It's a long day, but I don't work on weekends. Now this slide of course tells us about Ahmed's day. يعني نلاحظ انه الجمل هنا فيها احمد يتحدث عن نفسه، يتحدث عن انه اول يعرف بنفسه. هنا يقول انه هو ايش؟ he is Egyptian، انه مصري يعني. and he said I live in Riyadh. نلاحظ هنا مع I نستخدم the base form of the verb live، لا نضيف اي شيء هنا. and then I the pronoun I اذا مرة اخرى هنا نستخدم لا نضيف شيء. okay, I live with my wife Sumaya. she's a doctor. وهنا طبعا she's احنا ناقشنا ايش هذه contractions. she's a doctor, that means she is a doctor at a hospital. we have لاحظ هنا we the pronoun we ايضا البيس فورم هنا فعل الاساسي نفسه. okay, الفعل الاساسي have. we have a son Mustafa. he's 4. he's 4 يعني عمره 4 سنوات. I work for Riyadh Bank. I work for Riyadh High School. I don't know why I'm why I said Riyadh Bank this time. All right, anyway, so I work for Riyadh High School. Okay, so I here with the word or the verb work in the infinitive. And then the next sentence, I get up at 6 o'clock. So get up. لاحظ أيضا لم نضيف أي شيء هنا. I get up at 6 o'clock and I leave home at 6:30. وإيش؟ أترك المنزل الساعة 6:30. Nothing added here. لا نضيف أي شيء. I go to work by car. All right. I go. Here's the verb. And it takes. Okay. لاحظ هنا it. All right. With the pronoun, of course, the pronoun it. The verb takes s. Okay. الفعل يأتي بعده إيش؟ نهايته s. وننطقها أيضا s. Takes 30 minutes to get to work. The normal time to start work, okay, at my school is 8 o'clock. I get to school, أصل المدرسة, okay, at 7:30 because I have, again, here have, to be in class on time. I finish, that's another verb, okay, I finish at 3 o'clock every day. I get home, again, the word get, an hour later. It's a long day, it is, meaning it is, but I don't work on weekends. وهنا طبعا ايش النفي، وراح نتكلم عن كيف نكون جملة نفي باستخدام أو في ال present simple tense. Okay. All right, so let me just back to this slide again. The verbs here are, so the verbs are live, right? Live, all right, and have, all right, work, get up, okay, leave, go, takes, okay, and here start, right, and here get also, so there's a verb, have, right, finish, get, and the last one is here, work. All of these are verbs. Okay. Now read these rules and examples carefully. Present simple with I, you, we, and they. Use the present simple to talk about facts and regular activities. Example, I live in Riyadh. I usually go to work at 7 in the morning. Right, so احنا فقط بشكل سريع مرينا على هذه من قبل، لكن هذا الآن مرور جديد، لكن طبعا لأنه احنا راح نتعلم أشياء أخرى. Okay. And then number 2 here, the second point, use I, you, we, they plus infinitive, يعني المصدر أو the base form of the verb, to make affirmative sentences. يعني حتى نكون جمل مثبتة نستخدم إيش؟ واحد من الضمائر هذه إضافة إلى الفعل الأساسي. Okay. حتى نكون إيش؟ جملة مثبتة. I like swimming. See, I like swimming. They like tennis. طيب. Then use I, you, we, they plus don't. لو أردنا نكون جملة إيش؟ منفية بالنفي to make negative sentences. مثلا we don't. That means we do not. We don't play tennis. They don't eat in restaurant. إذن do تأتي مع الإيش؟ مع I, you, we, and they. Okay. Plus the word not here to negate, of course, the action. The thing they wanted to negate this to make a sentence negative. You say we don't play tennis. They don't eat in restaurants. And the last point here, we use to make questions again. How do we make yes no questions? We use do plus one of these pronouns. يعني do إضافة بعدها يأتي واحد من الضمائر هذه. Okay. ثم بعدهم يأتي الفعل. Okay. الفعل the infinitive or base form of the verb المصدر نفسه to make yes no questions حتى نكون جمل أو حتى نكون أسئلة اللي هي نوع الأسئلة يكون yes no question لأن الإجابة أيضا إما بتكون ب yes or no. فمثلا هنا لاحظ هنا لما نقول مثلا هنا I live in Riyadh. The question will be do I live in Riyadh. نأتي بالدو هنا في البداية ويصبح سؤال ونضع question mark هنا. فنقول do you like English. مثلا نقول you like English. That's a sentence. To make it a question, say do you like English. And again لاحظ the rising intonation. The second one, do they watch television. Do they watch television. Okay. And again this is do here. It should be in red color. So that's the second question. All right. Now look at them in a different slide. The affirmative, negative, and question. I get up at 6 o'clock. Negative, I don't get up at 6 o'clock. Okay. You eat breakfast at 7 o'clock. Negative, you do not or you don't eat breakfast at 7 o'clock. We start work at 8 o'clock. We don't start work at 8 o'clock. They live in Riyadh. They don't live in Riyadh. I have friends. I don't have friends. Okay, now to make question, as we said earlier, we use do. Okay, the auxiliary verb. Okay, that's do. فعل تعتبر من الأفعال المساعدة اللي تستخدم إيش لحالة نحن نريد أن ننفي جملة أو نكون سؤال. Okay, so I say, do you get up at 6 o'clock? Do you get up at 6 o'clock? Do you get up at 6 o'clock? Do they have friends? Do they have friends? And there should be, of course, question marks again here, because they are questions. It's good that we correct them together here. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So, do they have friends? Do they have friends? Do they have friends? Notice the rising intonation. Do you get up at 6 o'clock? Do you get up at 6 o'clock? يعني في هنا ارتفاع في نبرة الصوت. Okay? لما نسوي السؤال من استخدام do, you know, it's a yes no question. Okay? Alright, so that's affirmative, negative, and question. Alright. Now, read these rules and examples carefully. Okay, that's for he, she, and it. For he, she, and it. Use the present simple to talk about facts and regular activities. Sumaya lives in Jeddah. She goes to work by car. Again, لاحظ الاس هنا في نهاية الفعل. Okay. لاحظ الفعل هنا يعتبر من الأفعال ايش؟ نحن نسميها irregular verbs. لا نضيف اس فقط، وإنما ايش؟ إذا كان go نضيف es، يعني تعتبر من الايش؟ الأفعال irregular verbs. Okay. Alright. Use he, she, it plus the infinitive. احنا كيف نكون طيب جملة مثبتة؟ نستخدم الضمائر هذه معها الفعل نفسه ونضيف له اس. اوكي، مثلا he works. لاحظ الفعل الضمير هنا اللي هو المبتدا، الفعل ياتي بعده الاس. he works for CNN. Okay, his son works for HP. Okay, and the third point here is use he, she, it plus doesn't. Okay, طبعا هي اختصار لي this red color word here. That's actually two words, the word does and the word not, to make negative. Does not. Okay, المقصود فيها does not إضافة إلى إيش؟ الفعل نفسه، الأساس الفعل، الانفينيتيف المصدر، طبعا بدون s. Okay, إذا أردنا نكون إيش؟ Negative sentences. And look at this example here. He doesn't get up early. She doesn't have classes today. Look at the verb here. Now we use doesn't, right? Okay, or does not. لكن الفعل هنا ايش؟ The s is dropped. Okay, because we have used does here. Now in affirmative sentences like this, okay, Sumaya lives, okay, in Jeddah. She goes to work by car. All right, and he works for CNN. These are affirmative sentences. His son works. To make this sentence, for example, negative, we say he doesn't work for CNN. His son doesn't work for HP. And here, he doesn't get up early. She doesn't have classes today. And the last point is this. Use does plus he, she, okay, it plus infinitive to make yes, no questions. إذن لنعمل حتى نسوي أسئلة أو نكون أسئلة أو سؤال yes, no question, right? تكون does تأتي في البداية, okay, ويأتي بعدها the pronoun, okay, he or she, then the word work, or any verb, of course, but in this context here, or in this situation, we have the word work. So, does she work at home? Does he like his job? Does he like his job? All right. Now, of course, we will look at some other examples with they, you, we, and I in the next session, inshallah. Okay? And بهذا طبعا نأتي إلى نهاية الحلقة رقم 20. أرجو أن تكونوا قد استفدتم. شكرا لكم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.